Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy JB Trap House Boxing Man. I'm back again with another one. I was checking out a interview with Andre Rozier, on the Punch In show, and it was asking a bunch of questions, and they was talking about, you know, John David Jackson, old dope fiend, acting as he act like a dope fiend, and he just always complaining, ain't never got nothing good to say, always whining, always got an excuse. You know what I mean? He just act like a little judge. You know what I mean? Every time and I'm gonna give you an example, like one of them dope fiends, how they be acting when they don't get a hit or when you don't want to credit them nothing. You know what I mean? They want to get all upset and then when the next person come through and look out for them, they want to talk down on you and say your work ain't no good and talking about he got the bit. Just doing a bunch of little dope fiend shit. That's all. That's it. That's what he do. Act like a straight up judge. And how could he be trusted though, man? John David Jackson is he's a sellout, man. Even though Sergey Kovalev, I believe he is a racist. Yes, I do. Do I like Sergey Kovalev as a person? No. I'm not even a Sergey Kovalev fan, but John David Jackson is a buster. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to some of this interview, man. Y'all just tune in.
A little bit about Danny Jacobs now. You had this big win over Luis Arias on HBO. And after the fight, Arias said his foot was on fire. He was blaming an injury for his lackluster performance. John David Jackson was saying that Danny came in as a cruiserweight. He had an unfair advantage. It sounds like there was like a lot of excuses.
Oh, without a doubt. First and foremost, let me address John David Jackson. I mean, I've kept it cool in regards to John David Jackson for a moment. From the point of fact when he was working with my nephew Curtis Stevens, but when Curtis fought Lemieux, and I saw John David Jackson just sit there when my nephew was laid on the canvas.
Okay.
That was it for me. That was the first part. Now, he has a...
Now, see, y'all heard that. Prime example of this scumbag piece of shit, John David Jackson. Let's Curtis Stevenson laid all on the ground when David Lemieux knocked him out. He ain't budge or move. He just act like, oh well. See, that's what I'm talking about. What type of trainer, what type of person does that? But I'm gonna let Andre Rozier carry on.
Trainer is working with Kovalev, and he is basically feeding the information to everyone on the circuit about how to beat his own fighter. Who does that? What trainer does that? It makes no sense. And all he does is quibble and cry and complain, excuse the expression, like a little bitch. And I'm sick and tired of it, actually, to tell you the truth. And when we fought Arias, once again, Danny was the better athlete. He came up with every song and dance that he could find in that little biscuit head of his, and I'm sick of it.
My God. Well, you brought up the Curtis Stevens fight. I'm going to take it a little further back. He did the same thing to Brian Jennings when Brian Jennings got knocked out by Luis Ortiz. You saw him over there in the corner just chilling. And I was like, what trainer, would just let that man get knocked out and not jump in the ring, right? I mean, that's what he did with Curtis, too.
I agree. Who does? I mean, even if I don't care if I work with a guy the very same night, if they say, Andre, could you work my corner tonight? If something happens to that athlete, I'm going to be concerned because they at least wanted me to be there so they had enough trust and confidence in me to be in their corner. I'm going to make sure they're all right. Now, for somebody to just sit there and look like they're in a stupor, it makes no sense to me. Really. He's at the bottom of the list when it comes to trainers for me at this point in time. And just the actions are horrendous, horrible, shows no class, no no dignity, and no concern for the athletes that are boxing and making you some money.
Well, so, his biggest thing was about, Danny coming in like a cruiserweight. How big was Danny that night? Because he didn't get on the scale, so we really don't know. I mean, how big was he?
Danny weighed 173 pounds when we had finished up, before we actually went in. So we said jump, but we were just fooling around in the ring. So he was 173. He was nowhere near 180, 190. I mean, come on now. This guy, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Wow. Well, I have a question, though. For the Arias fight, Danny looked good. He looked sharp. It was almost like school was in session. I don't know, Arias' foot that was flaming, would have made a difference in that fight if it wasn't on fire. But why didn't you guys go back to Oakland to train for this fight? You guys had went to Virgil Hunter.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's how you get at a buster, man, who always doing a little foul shit and got little dope fiend ways and tendencies, like John David Jackson. You know what I mean? That's how you get at him. Put him on the spot. Let him know he's a clown. But check this out one more time for Andre.
John David Jackson were to walk up to you today and try to shake your hand, what would you say to him?
I would shake his hand and tell him about himself.
All right, last one. Who makes the hot...
And tell him to quit acting like a dope fiend, too. Bust ass nigga.